I think we can all agree at this point that the Snyder Cut is a far better and far superior movie than the original Justice League from 2017. And it wasn't just a superior movie, the Snyder Cut just kicked the theatrical version's ass.
I have a second chance. I am not gonna waste it.
He said the age of heroes would never come again.
Those lines definitely hit differently if you know what I mean. This movie made Josh Whedon's version look like it's a fan-made parody of a movie made by some high schoolers who don't even understand the DC universe and its characters. This video is going to contain obviously spoilers, so beware of that. I'm not going to talk about in depth about every single fucking scene because the whole movie is 4 hours long. I'm just going to give my opinions on some stuff, and mostly stuff that I liked and some stuff that I didn't like. And before I do that, I'm just going to make a very quick review of the original Justice League, just so we can have a little bit of comparison between the two. The first time I watched the original Justice League was in the theaters, and I couldn't say I hated it. It was just a meh kind of movie. I watched it again before the Snyder Cut, and yeah, it was pretty bad.
Tell me. Do you bleed?
Oh god, what the actual fuck. Now that I look at it, actually, I think the movie would have been better if they didn't CGI Superman's mustache at all. Imagine how badass he would look. I mean, the movie was already a mess, so it wouldn't make any difference.
And these aliens are gonna probe him? Come down to the Lakeview, and I'll stick a probe up your alien.
Don't do that.
The first thing I noticed was the pacing. The movie looked like it grabbed some scenes, put them all together, and that's it. What I mean by that is that mostly in the beginning the scenes lack connection between one another. For example, in some scenes you were watching Cyborg, and then it cuts to Wonder Woman, and then it cuts to Batman, and then again it cuts to Cyborg, then to Batman, then to Flash. It was a mess basically. The other big problem was the characters, obviously. In the 2017 version of the Justice League, I'm sure nobody cared, give a fuck, or anything about Cyborg. He was just there because he was made from the mother boxes. He was in some way connected to all those shit that was happening. But still, you don't feel as he is that important of a character because you don't see much of his human side, his backstory. Batman was also bad, as we all know. Joss Whedon tried to make him a bit like Tony Stark with those silly jokes and those awkward moments with Superman, which was... We all know how it went.
I knew you didn't bring me back because you like me.
I don't. Not.
In the end, this is just not Batman. It's another character, a different character. Although I'm gonna point out there was a scene with Batman in this version that wasn't in the Snyder Cut for obvious reasons, where Bruce talks to Diana, and she's like, "You need to learn to move on. You can't resurrect him. No, it's not your fault that you killed Superman." And Batman was like, "What about Steve Trevor? Did you move on, bitch?" That was a cool scene in my opinion.
What are your superpowers again? I'm rich.
And I'm a little bit of a bitch.
Jesus. He is tall.
And as we all know, every other character just felt useless in comparison to Superman. Especially Flash, in my opinion. He was so useless that Batman just sent him to save some random family because he wasn't needed in the fight. He then came just to get his ass kicked or something like that.
Have you guys seen what's going on outside?
This kind of reminded me of a certain Sorcerer Supreme who, instead of fighting in the big battle, he decided to take care of a little water problem. But I guess he had 14 million other reasons not to fight, so I'll let this one slide. And even when Flash tries to do the one job that he had to do in the whole movie, that is to save that Russian family, Superman decides, oh, he can't do the job, I'm going to go and humiliate him and save more people than him.
Dostoevsky.
whole movie just built Superman's arrival, but in the end, nobody had anything to do, and Superman just came and beat up a bit Steppenwolf, and that was it.
He said that you were the thirstiest young woman he ever met.
And the last scene I'm gonna talk about is where they defeat finally the villain. Everyone is happy, and suddenly, from all this alien destruction that was happening, you start to see all those flowers growing, alien flowers, and everyone is happy because flowers they bloom, they're pretty, yay! I thought Poison Ivy was fucking attacking. I mean, I don't think those radioactive flowers are friendly at all. I think that's about it about the theatrical version. I'm not going to dive into any more details about this movie. I'm just going to continue with the Snyder Cut.
The fan community has sort of risen up demanding this version. Well, because of the promise I've made them over the course of the two other movies, it has created this movement that said, we need to know how it ends.
And before I continue, I just want to point out how amazing is that the true vision of Zack Snyder was realized. I never expected this to happen. I never believed it would happen, but the Snyder Cut is real, and the movie is really good.
In any endeavor, to be supported is an incredible thing, you know, and especially supported by this incredible fan base. They've really taken the movie to heart, and so there is something really satisfying and fun for me bringing these amazing fans a movie that they wanted to see.
Again, spoiler alert, just so you know.
Just do it.
Okay, right at the beginning, we see a preview of what happened in the previous movie, Batman v Superman. We see Superman's death, his screams of death that awake the mother boxes. Just the whole flow of the movie is way better. The characters are also improved a lot. Even the main villain in this movie, Steppenwolf, is way better, not only in his design, but also we're given a brief backstory where we can see that he actually failed Darkseid and he tries to make it up for everything, tries to collect all those mother boxes so he can bring Darkseid to Earth.
He will see my worth again.
And actually in the Snyder Cut we can feel the effort that Steppenwolf has to go through throughout the movie in order to collect the mother boxes. In the 2017 version, where he has to get the last box, you just see a portal and then it vanishes and you assume that he's got it already, and that's it basically. A scene that was greatly improved in my opinion with Steppenwolf is actually where he appears the first time to Earth in the Amazon island, where he demolishes, kills fucking all Amazons. They can't do shit. They're trying to protect the mother box. They see all the exit, all the doors, and then they blew the whole place. And I think that made the effort of the Amazons more meaningful. Because in the 2017 version, they only sealed the doors, and then Steppenwolf was like, bitch, I'm gonna make my own exit. I don't need to go through all those barricades that you put in front of me, you stupid fucking Amazons. The other two characters that were greatly improved, as we all know, are the Flash and Cyborg. Cyborg was the heart of the movie, like Zack Snyder said. We were able to see his backstory, his connection with his father, the way that he learns to use his powers.
It is the burden of this responsibility that will define you and who you choose to be.
Yeah, he's basically saying with great power comes great responsibility. And then Flash, he was the comic relief character. I don't think the jokes that he made were bad. I actually liked every single scene of the Flash. I think they made him Josstice, really. He was also figuring out his powers, so when he tries to save Iris, he was super careful not to hurt anybody.
I'm so sorry.
He also fails a lot. The first time when they resurrect Superman, he wasn't on time to touch the cube, so then he rewinds time to do it properly. The second time was in the end of the movie where he saved everyone. He rewind time again. And I think that's the thing about the Flash. He's always not fast enough. And he always tries to be faster than before. He's just a whole different character than the previous movie. He had some great moments, especially in the end. In the end, everyone mattered in their own way. And just the whole movie is more emotional. The characters feel more human.
What do you think, man? You think she'd ever go for a younger guy?
She's 5,000 years old, Barry. Every guy's a younger guy.
Wonder Woman was good as well. She had some pretty badass scenes. The only problem that I had with her was actually the random woman singing every time she pops on screen. I mean, when the music hit the first time, it was okay. And right after it hit the second time, from that moment forward, every time I heard that music, I burst in laughter. It was so cringy. There was also blood in the movie, which was good. Blood just makes everything better, more believable, and realistic. I'm just gonna point out Mara here, the fatality that she did on Steppenwolf, where she sucks all his blood, all his liquid, everything just out of him, was fucking brutal. That's some Mortal Kombat level shit. Another character that was pretty good was Aquaman. He got obviously more screen time than he did before. We see Arthur talking to Daddy Defoe about his inheritance, which will probably lead to the Aquaman movie.
Avenge me!
And another scene that I can't say I didn't like, I can't say I liked, it was weird for me, was when Arthur goes into the ocean, swims away, and there were like women singing a song. At one point, one woman even picked up the clothes that Aquaman left and started smelling them, which kind of creeped me out, and it was weird. It's like he made all the women wet before going to the ocean. I guess they were worshipping him or something like that. I guess in this movie, chicks are dazzled by the great man that is Jason Momoa.
Yeah!
And that proves it in another scene where they're fighting against Steppenwolf underneath the Gotham Harbor or something like that. And then the water breaks in and Aquaman comes in and tries to stop the wave. Everyone is trying to escape, not to drown, obviously. But suddenly, everyone decides to stand still for like 10 minutes, admiring the greatness that is Jason Momoa. Batman was also better. There weren't any of those cringy jokes anymore and the awkward moments that he had with Superman. I still kind of miss the smart guy, the detective, the guy who's always a step ahead of everyone.
Your armory, the Hellspores, they've been activated.
Impossible. The arming code is encrypted.
I broke the code and reprogrammed them.
You're bluffing.
Omega Lambda 7 XL9. That sounds like a bluff to you?
Another thing that I probably had to say in the beginning, they removed the mustache properly this time. The whole Superman resurrection was better. We can better see now what would be the consequences if Superman got resurrected. He will probably not be the same person as he was. And we can see that in Cyborg's vision of the future. The dark future, where actually Superman obeys Darkseid and he destroys the whole Justice League. It's just the whole movie is more intense. It just keeps you interested throughout these 4 hours. You don't even notice the time passing by. Another scene where I thought Superman is gonna lose it was actually the first time they fight him, which was almost the same, but without the cringe and stupid stuff. Ah, how did that get in there? Just the whole fight makes you think, oh shit, he's gonna snap at any second, he's gonna turn evil. For example, where the soldiers start shooting at Superman and you're like, oh dude, you shouldn't have done that. You're screwed, man. And he starts lasering everyone in an explosion all the way. And then where he fucking starts lasering Batman and Batman is helpless and he tries to absorb the lasers but he can take that much. Then Lois comes and saves the day. But the point was, it was way more intense. And I kind of think this works, that Batman didn't call Lois, because in the previous version he actually had her for Plan B, which, that makes it more of his character because he's always a step ahead. But then again, if you think about it, probably Batman wouldn't want Lois to endanger her life in order for him to prove a point that Superman is not actually evil. And this time Lois was there because Martian Manhunter impersonated Martha.
Why did you say that name?
Then he talks to Lois saying that she should get her shit together and to finally move on with her life. Then Lois decides finally to move on, goes outside and sees the holy Superman resurrected, and she's like, oh shit, here we go again. I kind of expected more from Martian Manhunter, but considering how many characters there are in the movie already, it's understandable. Then we can see again J.K. Simmons playing Jim Gordon. Everything's the same, he just receives a different drawing of the parademons.
Pack your things. Get out of my building.
In this, we can just clearly see that this is Batman, and the previous one I think had a bit of a mix between a parademon and a Batman, which I think was better. I don't know.
Is he coming with us now? Because we're not.
Catch him in the act. Spider-Man with his hand in a cookie jar. Whoever brings me that photo gets a job.
Oh.
And now it's time for the villain that was teased actually throughout the whole Snyder cut, Darkseid. To be honest, every time I saw Darkseid on screen, I fucking lost my shit. Ah, the Omega Beam! Holy fucking shit! But I thought that he would put more of a fight in the story where Wonder Woman talks to Bruce and explains who Darkseid is actually. I understand that he fought actual gods, and this is probably Darkseid in his early years where he's not that powerful and mighty. But still, I expected a little bit more of him. There, Darkseid just came, slammed his axe, killed a Green Lantern, tried to grab the One Ring to rule them all, but then he failed. Then Zeus and all the other gods started attacking him, and then Darkseid takes an axe to the shoulder. Yeah, Ares should have gone for the head. These gods just never learn. Apparently this does a lot of damage, and Darkseid retrieves like a pussy. But that's actually good, considering that now he has a grudge against the only world that he never managed to conquer. I just expected him to put up more of a fight, that's all. And then the end battle, everything was super intense, super epic. I loved everything about it. The moment where the boom tube opens and you see Darkseid.
Oh my god! Okay, it's happening! Everybody stay calm! What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm!
And you see actually the heroes losing, even though Superman was there and he kicked Steppenwolf's ass. And boy, did he kick Steppenwolf's ass, dude.
Not impressed.
He should have gone for the head. He fucking destroyed him. With every hit that Superman landed, you just see Steppenwolf's HP bar just dropping rapidly. Then after that, Aquaman comes to steal the kill, and Wonder Woman cuts his head off, which was fucking epic. And I forgot to mention the most important character there in the end, Flash, who fucking rewind time and save everyone. Thank God they did justice to this guy. And after the big final fight, we actually have half an hour more of content where they're trying to set up the next movie or movies. We see Lois probably pregnant, which could lead to the Injustice storyline.
Do you remember that night when you told me Lois was pregnant? You knew, even before I said anything. That was a good memory. From another lifetime.
And then we see this nightmare where Superman actually is evil and Darkseid rules the Earth. And I have to say something that people will probably kill me in the comments. When the trailer hit and you first see Joker and he said we live in a society, everybody fucking lost their minds. I don't get what's the hype about it. He is better than the Suicide Squad, I admit that. But still, this Joker's laugh is so bad. And I don't care how many tattoos you fucking remove. But I have to admit, without him, the scene wouldn't have worked, probably. And Zack Snyder wanted a Batman and Joker moment for the fans, so there's that as well. And if they ever make a Batman movie where the main villain is Deathstroke, that would be super cool in my opinion. I really like the actor, Flash Thompson.
I don't want to fight you, Flash. I wouldn't want to fight me neither. Kick his ass, man.
I really like this Deathstroke, his design, everything about him. I think it has potential, definitely. And that's about it.